All right, what's your question, man? Okay. So the main reason why I wanted to become an inventor was I didn't have a lot growing up. I didn't have a lot of toys. I didn't have a lot of friends. I didn't have a lot of just everyday things, right? And so what I realized was people that didn't have much, they created things. They created the things that they wanted. So each and every one of you have an imagination, right? And so what I saw out of my imagination was that I could create things. So I would sit around my room and put things together, tape some stuff together, glue it together. And then I went from there to going to a junkyard and taking some things apart from a car and taking things apart from a bike and putting those two things together. And somehow I invented something. Now, is that thing out there for you to buy? No, but it continued to drive my passion to be an inventor, right? And so sometimes when you don't have much, you gotta use that imagination, and from that imagination comes things in your reality, things in your world, all right? So always remember that. Your imagination is so powerful. What about you, young man? All right, so right now, I basically have 3 books. So I have one that's called Dad's the Driver. It's a parenting book about me being a dad, some of the things that I use in my household, some of the things that I've discussed with other dads that I coach. The second book that I have is called The Assist. And this is something that I created about a year ago, where I go out to certain communities, I volunteer, and what I do is I basically write about my experience helping others and what the people that are there doing and what they're doing to help others as well. And then the third book is really this foundation of fearlessness, all right? So each and every one of you, when I said, do y'all get nervous? Sometimes that nervousness is really fear because we don't know what's on the other side. So those are the 3 books that I have, and I'm gonna continue to write. My goal is by 2025 is to have 18 books written. And so I'm gonna reach that goal because I hold myself accountable. But one thing I wanted to touch on before we finish is the epidemic of what's happening to a lot of our men. And you gotta listen to this, guys, you gotta listen to this. What I find very difficult is seeing somebody who looks like me, who comes from the same environment as me, and who comes from the same places I've been, being hurt just because there's a communication gap, all right? And what I mean by communication gap is it's called manners, all right? So manners means yes ma'am, no ma'am, yes sir, no sir. If somebody asks you to do something, you do it because you respect them. If your teacher or your coach or your mom or your dad or anybody that is older than you that asks you to do something, you show your manners because that's how you were raised, and you do the things that you're asked. What I find in a lot of these videos and these scenarios is people tend to lose their manners because they're upset. And if you're mad at the world and you feel like you need to hurt somebody because they upset you, then you need to find some time to really ask for some help. Because I would rather you ask for some help than go out here, end up in a youth detention center, end up in jail, and then whenever you get out of jail, you're still mad at the world, and somehow you found your way of getting shot by one of these police officers who are afraid of you because you feel like you need to show them anger and frustration and being upset. All right? So remember, you have manners. You have to show respect. And I need you to repeat after me. I can be anything. I can do anything. I can learn anything. Because I'm a king. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for having me.